Bring it back.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This week we're going to be playing a bit of Europa Universalis 4. A bit of a different game to sort of what I've been playing on the channel before. But and this is a bit of an older game. It's been out a couple of years now, but they have released a lot of DLC to sort of keep it up to date and add new features. And it's probably the most in-depth and sort of complicated grand strategy game out there on the market. There's really not a lot like it. You can play as absolutely any nation in the world, starting between 1444 and I think it's 1821 it goes up to. So so I thought I'd just do a sort of a bit of a short video on sort of the basic game concepts. Like it's almost like a little bit of a tutorial, because it's pretty overwhelming when you first start playing this game if you've never played it before. And then if it's the sort of thing that gets enough interest, we could do a video series about it, sort of similar to the Kingdoms and Castles one, where we pick a country and try and conquer the world, because you know, who doesn't want to do that? So yes, you can literally pick any country in the world. So and remember, this is 1444, the start date, so the world map is not quite the same as it is today. So a good example is Ireland is still split into the various clans. It's not got a united Northern and Southern Ireland. Lithuania is massive. Russia doesn't exist yet. The not a lot left of the old Roman Empire. Just the Byzantines have only got Constantinople and a little bit in one of the islands off Greece. But to start today, I thought it would be easiest to play as Castile. This is just before Spain is formed, so Castile joins with Aragon. So let's jump into the game. Normal mode. So you're, as a ruler, you are in charge of your country, and you can diplomacy, military action, economic action, and sort of the general idea is that you want to become increasingly powerful, and the AI controlling each other, the individual nations, are also trying to achieve the same goal. So you first load into the game, you see your country, you can see your navy down in the bottom, and you've got two armies at Toledo and another place in Spain that I can't pronounce. And you've got, along the top, you've got your money, your manpower, how many people you've got available to recruit into your armies, your sailor manpower, so how many people you can recruit into your navies, the country's stability, corruption, prestige, and the legitimacy of your monarch, as long as your power projection. So how powerful other countries perceive you as. So, you know, initially that's a lot to take in. So I think we'll start with dealing with the key issues. So when something dramatic happens, or something that really needs your attention, you should get a pop-up along this bar here. So we've got too few rivals, we need more advisors, truces are about to expire, etc, etc. So if we just take the first one, too few rivals. So you have to have rivals, i.e. countries that you want to be better than, or countries that you want to conquer, or countries that you want to outtrade. So, and you can only pick countries that are sort of equivalent rivals. So as Spain, I can't rival sort of the very minor Muslim country of Grenada, because it's just too small. It's not realistic for Spain to consider that as a rival. And obviously being a rival of another country, i.e. trying to compete against them, has a negative effect on diplomacy and their opinion of each other. So if I want to form Spain in the future via diplomatic means, i.e. if I want to have a union with Aragon to form Spain, setting them as a rival is not really a very good course for that, is it? So I'll be better to rival people like France, England, and Morocco is normally quite a good one, because I normally always end up at war with Morocco. So, and then that's fulfilled that task. So we also have free advisor slots. So if I go to our court tower, or you can click on the little chair at the top, you have a number of advisors. So you have a diplomatic advisor here, an administrative advisor, and a military advisor. Now these give 2 bonuses. So one bonus is depending on how much you pay for them. So it says a monthly upkeep of 1 gold, and the one with +2 administrative skill have a monthly upkeep of 4 gold. And these are like your research points. So the more when you get enough administrative power, you can go to the technology tab and go to level 4 administration, which unlocks different buildings, different ideas, and that sort of thing. But it costs more to maintain that, whereas the cheaper advisors only give you +1. So currently I'm gaining 3 administrative power per month. And then the second bonus you get is each advisor has sort of a personal bonus. So missionary strength, so that increases the rate you can convert the religion in your provinces. Prestige will give you a bonus to your yearly prestige. Stability cost and production efficiency, both pretty self-explanatory. So just for a start, I'm just going to pick yearly prestige. So you would go through and select your advisors based on what you want. You know, you can take a lot more time and think about it a bit more. These do go up to +3 as well, which costs something like 10 gold a month, but give you +3, military power per month. So once you have a strong enough economy, it's well worth trying to support, high-ranking advisors, so that you get a lot of administrative, diplomatic, and military power. So, what other notifications have we got? Truce will expire. Well, that's because Granada is sort of a Muslim country. It's the remains of the Caliphate. And so sort of we largely have obviously been at war with them previously, but they're currently a truce which is going to expire in February 1448. So we've got sort of about 4 years. So it's worth considering that if after the truce expires we want to go to war with them, we need to start preparing our armies for that sort of thing. Can build provincial improvements. This is where you can build buildings. They're all pretty self-explanatory, so we've not unlocked a lot of these yet because we've not got any new technology. You can build castles, which is fine, but castles cost upkeep, so you really want to be only building them in strategic locations. Church gives you a tax bonus, so again, it's pretty obvious. Each province gives you a tax income, i.e. 0.57 gold per month. If you put a church on there and give a 40% increase, you get 40% more than that. It'll be, nearly 1 gold tax a month. So it can be worth building buildings, but there's an initial outlay to that building cost. So that's provincial improvements. Disputed succession. So basically, you have your court, which is your king, and he has an heir. So the king's 39, the heir's 19, and he has a strong claim. If the heir dies and there's not a spare heir, then another noble family may have to sort of put up an adoptive son, or you move further down the family tree, and so the claim may be weak or average. If you have a weak or average claim, then when that monarch comes to power, his legitimacy will not be 100, but it will be 50 or 25 or 75, and that can increase national unrest, i.e. You're more likely to get revolts and civil wars and that sort of thing. And finally, mission. So this is where you can make national decisions. Can't make any of them. See, like this is form Spanish nation diplomatically. You can see the requirements for that to achieve that. And also we have a current mission which to select, i.e. Conquer Granada, or improve our relations with the papacy, or have a higher prestige. So we can select a mission, and that mission has given us claims on provinces. So that's hopefully gives you a little idea. It's not too complicated. So we'll just quickly flick through the various tabs. We've been on some of these. So this is the court one, where you do your advisors. Government, this is where you can promote cultures within your country. So we're mostly Castilian, Andalusian and Leonese, but there's a couple of Galician and Basque from the Basque country, but these are only minor cultures. If you conquered all of Aragon. I think they're probably Catalonian. And then that might be a 30% culture, and it's worth promoting that as a culture, as an accepted culture more so than Leonese. Diplomacy is pretty simple. You know, you can have a lot of actions from the countries. So if we just take Albania, it should be here. Yep. So we can offer alliances. Obviously they don't like us because we haven't really talked to them or done anything with them, so there's no reason why they'd accept that. Can influence them, improve relations or insult them, try and go for a royal marriage. We can build a spy network and try and commit various acts of sabotage in their country, some of which require more research, you know, diplomatic technology. Can embargo them, send gifts, loans, etc. Then access, like military access, basing, etc. And because we are a great power, Castile is a great power. We're the 8th greatest power in the world. We can intervene in wars, force them to break alliances, and take on foreign debt. So that's diplomacy. Economy. I'm not going to go into the depths of economy. EU4 has a very detailed economy, and trade, as you can see, gets pretty complicated, and that's something else for another video, which, if there's enough interest, I can make. But yeah, that's probably 20 minutes on the economy itself. So long as you just sort of set it to automatic, it will sort of tick along reasonably well. And that's the same for trade. Pretty complicated. Technology I briefly touched on. Once you get enough research points, you can upgrade to different technology levels, which opens different military units, different ships, and different buildings. Ideas. Once you get to technology administrative level, once you get to administrative technology level 5, you should unlock ideas, which allows you to pick an idea which focuses on specific things, such as quantity ideas. So this is the idea that you should have large armies. So it gives you national manpower modifiers, you know, positive, quicker reinforce, sort of cheaper regiments, more mercenaries, and larger armies. So that's just the idea, is you have vast, unskilled armies. The opposite to that is quality, which instead of doesn't give you any more manpower, but gives you a higher quality army. So increased combat ability, more training, a more disciplined and more professional army. So depending on sort of how you want to play, you can pick and choose the missions we talked about. So stability. When you conquer foreign territory, you'll get overextension. So by overextension is in you've taken territory that doesn't belong to you, you have to send men to garrison that, and that causes overextension, which causes unrest in your provinces and the conquered provinces. And also here, we've not got any at the moment, but you can see the rebels tab, where you'll get details of any rebellions that are brewing and what percentage they're at, and once they reach 100%, you know, hostile units will spring up in that rebellion province. Religion, obviously this is Spain, or just pre-Spain, so obviously it's a Catholic country, apart from Muslim Granada in the south. And obviously Morocco and North Africa is all Muslim. So if you invade there, you will then have Muslim provinces, which is where you then send missionaries to try and convert them to Catholic provinces. It's not something you have to do, but doing so, sort of, once they're converted, you get a better stability and you're less likely to get rebellions. Military tab, there's not really a lot to say on this at the moment. Military is probably another video as well, but here you can select the units you want, like Latin medieval infantry and halberd infantry, and you select your knights, etc, etc, and you have your generals, which have their own personal traits, and that's something you don't really need to worry about at the moment. So the final thing I'll go through, just on this sort of very, very quick introduction, of the different maps. I'm sure there are other games like this. You know, you have terrain maps. If you attack an enemy army on a mountain, then obviously you get a negative combat modifier, i.e. you're at a disadvantage. Whereas if you start off on the mountain and are defending from the mountain, then you get the advantage against the enemy army. So it could be a useful tab. Political, as the name suggests, just shows sort of colours each country a different colour, so it's nice and easy to see what territory you own versus what your opposition owns. Trade is really complicated. Diplomacy shows your relations to other countries, so we're friendly with Aragon, and then because Aragon owns these islands and Naples is sort of like a little protectorate under the control of Aragon, we're also friendly with that. Religion, it's obviously unsurprisingly a hugely Catholic Europe. Then we've got the Orthodox East, and then we've got sort of the various Sunni and Shia Muslim nations, with a few sort of random pockets of Christianity. Sort of, I think this is Armenia, which is traditionally Christian. And I suspect we can't actually see because we haven't explored here, but just south of Egypt and like Ethiopia, I suspect is also Coptic Christian. Development, don't worry about that. States and territories, don't worry about that. And institutions is not something to worry about. So the final thing really to consider is when you're going to war, you're just right-clicking your armies to move them around. If we unpause there, you'll see the army moves quite quickly. We've already had an offer of alliance, so we could choose to accept that if we wanted, with Navarre, which is a small little country. Sort of a buffer state between us and the French. So if I wanted to declare war on Granada, I can't at the moment because we've got a truce. But you know, if I wanted to, we could declare war on them once the truce has expired. And if you want to declare war on anyone, you really need to have a casus belli, i.e. a reason to go to war. And if you don't have one of them naturally, then you need to make one, i.e. you should build a spy network in the country. So if we build a spy network in Morocco, every month that will increase by 1.84. And then once that gets to 20, you can then fabricate a claim on a province. I.e. we make up lies and misinformation that says that Tangiers is traditionally a Spanish province and it's actually ours, and the Moroccans hold it illegally, and then we use that as the reason to go to war. So you always need to have a casus belli, otherwise you take a massive stability hit. So you just have to plan a little bit in advance. If you think in a couple of years you want to invade Morocco, start building a spy network, start making up those claims. And then, yes, generally it's a numbers game. If you have a larger army than the enemy, you're generally okay. Don't attack them on mountains if you can help it, and make sure you assign your general to your armies because he gives you a combat bonus. And then other than that, really, you just need to play and see how it pans out, because it's a massive learning curve and it can't all be explained in a video. You sort of have to learn some of it by making mistakes. So hopefully that was like a bit of a useful introduction to you. If you'd like to see me do sort of like a bit of a Let's Play series on EU4, we could do a country together, then that might help you learn a lot about the game as well, and it could be a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments below. Any other questions, comment below, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks guys, see you on the next video.